Hey friends, welcome back. And welcome back to another reading vlog. Today we're going to be spending a cozy bookish weekend together. I have a very exciting book lined up for this vlog. We will get into that book a little bit later, but first we're obviously in the car. Commencing this bookish weekend with going to my favorite indie bookstore here in Indianapolis, which is Tomorrow Bookstore. I have to pick up a pre-order, and one of my friends left their Kindle for me so that I can read a very specific arc that is coming out at the end of February. So I'm really excited. Let's go to the bookstore. I wasn't planning on buying anything in the bookstore. I was purely going to pick up a pre-order, but of course I bought some books. Avi and I also walked right down the street to Please and Thank You to get a dirty chai, and she got a pup cup. So if you hear licking, that's what that sound is. But I did pick up my pre-order for Onyx Storm by Miss Rebecca Yarros. Of course I'm gonna read it. I'm excited about it. We'll see how it goes. And then the two books that I am like the most excited about. We Could Be Rats by Emily Austen. I wasn't gonna purchase it, but B, my friend who is one of the booksellers, she said that this is about two sisters and they are talking to each other in sort of like suicide notes. And like the chapter titles are like Attempt 12 and Attempt 21, like things like that. And I think they're talking back and forth to one another. It obviously has some sort of like central narrative. I think they're like coming back to find each other and a celebration of that transcendent, unshakable bond. I love Emily Austen. I love the title, We Could Be Rats. I love it. I also so excited about this one. It is Blob, a love story by Maggie Sue. Look at it. Look at it. I'm not reading the synopsis of this one, but the little like blurb says, a humorous and deeply moving debut novel in the vein of Bunny and Convenience Store Women, about a young woman who tries to shape a sentient blob into her perfect boyfriend. Literally say less. Bought. And then I was going to be picking up my friend's Kindle, like I mentioned. She has not yet had a chance to come drop it off yet. So I'll get that one soon. She's giving me her Kindle so that I could read her arc of Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. I'm still gonna buy the book when it comes out. I just wanna read it. But yeah, these are all very exciting. And now I have a dirty chai and we're gonna go back home, I guess. She's like wiping her mouth. She's so cute. That's probably what we should do anyways though, because I need to get started on the book for this video, which I'm really excited about. Avi is very upset that I'm encroaching on her sleep spot, and she is sort of mean mugging me, side-eyeing me even. I love you so much. We're back home. Avi got a WALK, and I've been listening to another book for another video that is coming out. Actually, it's an exclusive video for my Patreon. Every year I do public videos that are reading your guys' best and worst books of the previous year, and my Patreon exclusive video is reading their most mid books of 2024, the previous year. And last year I found one of my favorite books of the year from that video. So I'm really excited about that video. My library holds are ruling my life at the moment. So if I don't read this book like now, I'm gonna lose my library hold because a lot of people are already waiting in line behind me. But I've been listening to Powerless by Lauren Roberts all day. I'm about 16% of the way in. So over this weekend, I'll probably be reading this at times as well. But the book that I will actually be like chatting about for this video is going to be I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue. This was a 2024 release, and oh my god, yeah, my friend Marissa got this for me for my birthday. Marissa is someone that Caleb and I met in line at the La Dispute merch table when we were seeing them in Grand Rapids. Oh my god. I hope I love this book because I love her. But this has been very anticipated for me. And this is, like I said earlier, my book club pick for January. I run a book club over my Patreon. Broadly, this book is about an admin worker who accidentally gains access to all of her colleagues' private emails and DMs and decides to use this intel to save her own job. I'm hearing a lot of mixed reviews from my patrons, actually. People are saying it's a little bit slow in the beginning, but that doesn't always bother me. I honestly kind of think that I'm gonna love it, and I'm hoping that that's the case. But it's like 3 p.m. I'm going to finish my dirty chai and just crack into this. I'm gonna get at least like 50 pages in. I'll come back and give you some initial thoughts. But yeah, it's been an interesting reading day, and I feel great about the books that I got. I'm excited. Let's get into it. Hello, I have an update. I've made it to about 40% to page 127. I'm having a good time. Our main character, Jolene, is sort of the person in this like cubicle corporate workspace that is really misunderstood to all of her coworkers. Everyone sort of like pins her as like the weirdo, someone to make fun of, someone to, you know, pin things on, I guess. Even though she herself is just a little bit socially awkward. She doesn't really know or do well in social interactions, so how she comes across is sometimes a little bit like maybe short or a little bit rude. And you learn this really early on. It's not necessarily a spoiler. It's how she got into the situation that gave her the privilege of getting access to everyone's computer, everyone's instant messages, everyone's emails, because that's like the premise of the book, is that she uses that sort of like glitch in IT to like save her job and so on and so forth. But in the beginning of the book, you learn kind of like what she's been doing passive aggressively, like without people knowing, is at the end of every email that she would send, if it was just like a dumb email that was like, yes, I'll be sure to get you those by the end of day, sincerely Jolene, and then enter, and then she'd have like another message that's like, and by the way, everyone hates that you do X, Y, and Z, and last time you microwaved your fish soup, you left a trail from the break room all the way to your desk, and we all had to suffer. But then changes the color of the text to be white so that the person receiving the email never saw her like actual grievance, because obviously that's not like a chill thing to do in the workplace. But it's like her way of like therapy. It's her way of like getting out her anger to her coworkers. But one time she forgets to change the color from black to white, and that's how she ends up in HR and having to go through this whole like reform of like healthy workplace interactions, that one of those dumb, you know, corporate things. So then the IT guy had to put some like software on her computer to monitor what she's been doing, and there's a glitch. Now she has all of this access, and she's becoming friends with the HR guy. It's really funny. Jolene is a very like depressed person. That's not why it's funny, but like her dry sense of humor and how she's handling situations is sort of funny. I've written LOL or haha multiple times. I've giggled out loud. Yeah, it's just silly. Her sense of humor is just like really, really good. I'm having a good time. There's a lot of drama that she's watching happen between her coworkers, and a lot of it is about her. So she's sort of getting a leg up on how to outsmart her coworkers in certain situations and how to not lose her job, basically. It is sort of like mundane and slow, but there is sufficient drama and mystery. Like I'm having a good time. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's going to be a 5-star, but I'm still happy about it, you know, so far. So we'll see how it goes. I can see where the problems are going to be starting, and I'm dreading it a little bit, but I am excited to continue. So Caleb should be home maybe in like an hour. I think I'm gonna walk Avi and feed the cats. Then I work all day at the hospital tomorrow, but I am off all weekend. So let our bookish weekend continue. Caleb and I just had a really busy last 24 hours. We had to go to 2 hockey games for our nephew, go out to dinner with some friends that were in town, grocery shop, clean our basement, donate a bunch of things to Goodwill. And yesterday was the 1st of February, so hi Sammy. Here's Sammy. But yesterday was the 1st of the month, and that means that I had to do a bunch of beginning of the month things for Patreon. I put out a bulletin every month. I put out graphics. That is like a cute little way of showing when we're doing like reading sprints and our readathon that we do. Just a lot of busy stuff. I did also end up finishing I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue. I think that it's good. I am a little bit let down by it. I think I was expecting a little bit of a more exciting story. It's very much just like a slice of life, sort of like workplace, I almost said vlog, book. I do like the writing, and I would be intrigued to read more from this author because it was funny. The banter was great. I liked the exploration with like mental health representation. And even though I did like those things, I do think that the whole entire book was mostly like one note. Nothing necessarily like stood out to me very much other than the banter between our main character and the HR guy. I like the discussion of the concept that you don't know what anyone else is going through, so don't be a jerk. Like, people could be just, you know, plastering on a smile and literally nothing is okay for them, so maybe you shouldn't be mean. I will be discussing this with my patrons next Sunday, actually the Sunday that this video is coming out. So I am excited to talk to them about it because I want to see what the general consensus is. I'm hovering between like a 3.5 and a 4 because I am happy I read it. I had a good time, but I think I was expecting a little bit more and left wanting a little bit more. Regardless, I'm happy I read it, and we are gonna go into the last little portion of this video, which I want to update my reading journal. I'm about to go live with my patrons. We do like a monthly reset every month, just like a little live hangout that we mostly just yap, honestly. Sure, we'll do things like update reading journals, but mostly we just sit there and yap for a little bit. But I do want to take time today to update my reading journal, read more of Powerless, and also respond to some YouTube comments. So what I want to kind of focus on, oh shoot, I need to update my little growth tracker. I want to update my greenhouse spread on what the book club picks were for January. I also am doing a year-long reading challenge with my patrons, and I want to fill out and print out a picture of the book that I chose for the first month. The prompt was like new or first. So the book I chose for that was Heartless Hunter Crimson Moth Book 1 because it's first in the series. So I want to print out a picture for this little slot right here. I also need to update my monthly shelves. I'll put little spines of all the books that I read that month in January with corresponding like star ratings next to them. This spread, I have 2025 favorites, and I'm wondering if as the year's going on, if I should put like January favorite books, favorite things that I've been doing, and do little placeholders for the rest of the year, or if at the end of the year, I want to sort of just like make this a like a Mod Podge of things. Mod Podge? Hodgepodge? Collage of things. I feel like if I don't do it as I go throughout the year, I won't do it at all. So maybe I should do it. But that's it. I have February like all planned out. I have my little Dutch door and trackers made. So I just want to update the other like year-long things that I'm doing. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll be back so soon.
Jumping through to claim you, to put my flag on your ground, but that ain't so. No, honey, I don't wanna cage you, don't even wanna tame you. Just want you to say that you're mine, and I'm good to go. But I think you'll like it, all the attention I'm paying you. Still, honey, there's something far more true. Crazy good, crazy good. That's how our love's gonna be.
Hello, good morning. It's been a good morning. I slept really well last night, which doesn't always happen. Read a little bit of Powerless. I'm almost to 40% of this, and I am actually trying to finish this today, and I do think that that's possible. And I printed out those book covers last night, ended up putting everything together this morning. I am just so in love with my reading journal this year. I love that I'm taking more time to actually fill it out, and this is the first year that, for whatever reason, I had the epiphany last night that I was like, no, I should be using this journal more than just my like everyday to-do list, which I have for like ever. Like taking the time to just print out book covers has made this experience of this journal like 10 times better than it ever has been. For my book club spread, I just printed out the main pick and the optional buddy read that we do. And I'll have the star ratings here. And on the sides here, I'll put some like general thoughts of each book because it's a reading journal. Let's log my reads, you know? I also just I adore this spread so much. I love all the clouds. The first challenge, I just put Heartless Hunter, which was new or first. So I'll do the same thing. I'll put some thoughts on the side and the star rating. I already showed you the shelves. I also am just in love with how this turned out. I love like the green cursive. It just looks so good. And what's so important to me also is that I decided to do this. Like I decided to take time at the end of every single month and like think about what just happened, because I think that all last year, it wasn't 365 days. Like it literally feels like last year was 2 months long because I hardly remember anything from 2024. And I want to change that. Like if you watched my best books of 2024, like my #1 book of last year is why I'm trying to slow down and be more intentional and mindful with like my time and my just mental scape and just like emotional well-being. Like I want to live a creative life. I want to do things that are purposeful and meaningful for me and, you know, have fun doing so and share that along with you guys. And taking the time to slow down and like actually do a journal, I think is really great for me. And I'm just really happy about it. The other thing that I finished was my page count and word count. So every month I have a little Dutch door that has some trackers. The two most filled out are cooking and reading. Obviously I read pretty much every single day in January, and we like to keep track of how many nights we like cook dinner together. There was only one night that we got takeaway food in January because these 2 days we were out on vacation, and then this day we went out for dinner with Caleb's family, so they actually picked up the tab, which was very sweet of them. So this was the only night that we got Reubens. We went to a local delicatessen named Shapiro's, and they're phenomenal. I was craving a Reuben for like 2 weeks straight, and we finally caved. But otherwise, page count was almost 3,400 last month. Book count was 10 books. Word count, this is just for writing, and I just sort of like described what processes I started doing this past month. Just, you know, little exercises and trying to get myself more in the space of being creative in a sense of writing and creating, because that portion of my brain is very different from like booktube and like video creation. So I'm trying to merge the two a little bit, and I started making steps. I want to take more steps, obviously, but you know, a step is a step. Games played, obviously, prop hunt. Had a lot of fun with prop hunt in January. But yeah, I just love how I set up my journal this year. Otherwise, I'm just gearing up for all of the videos that I have planned for this month. I'm doing a romantasy reading vlog. I'm doing reading your guys' best and worst books of 2024 videos. And I'm also starting reading my patrons' most mid books of 2024, which I just love. I love December, January, and February content. It's my favorite. So I'm having a grand old time. I am excited. But that marks the end of this video because I have to go read. I have to go start doing the things for these videos. So thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still here, leave me the cloud emoji down below in the comments. And while you're down there, please do subscribe and like the video. It helps me a lot. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.